Hello gamers, this is Sai and welcome back to Which Way Games. It's time for the return of the blue blur, but he's not alone. This time, Sonic has a new friend helping him on his mission to stop Robotnik.
Oh friend! Oh new friend! Oh.
And with that being said, let's get on with the video. As a lifelong Sonic fan, it was only a matter of time before I started talking about the Blue Savior again. And with my Sonic collection slowly building up, I'm always pleased when I receive new Sonic stuff. I've recently added some more and I have more Sonic stuff on the way. Hopefully over time my collection will grow and grow. Maybe one day I'll be able to get all the Sonic games in an arcade cabinet. Anyway, when gamers think of Sega, they could probably mention a few games off the top of their heads quite easily. Games such as Echo the Dolphin, Streets of Rage and Alien Storm. Now, one franchise that Sega is most well known for is the Sonic the Hedgehog series. You know, that iconic blue speedster that's been around for almost 28 years? Feel old yet? But before I carry on with the subject of Sonic, let's go back to where Sega's roots in home console gaming began. In 1985, Sega released a small but humble console known as the Sega Master System, an 8-bit console to rival Nintendo's own NES, and with it, new games that were a breath of fresh air for the home console gaming scene. Nintendo were dominating the gaming industry with great games such as Zelda, Metroid and Mario. Sega were obviously going head to head with Nintendo, and speaking of Nintendo, they had one of the most well-known mascots in gaming. This mascot was Mario, an Italian plum with a moustache, blue dungarees and a red hat. And a fantastic as well as addictive game where he would have to save a princess from a bipedal tortoise. And what did Sega have? They had Alex the Kid. This odd monkey devil was Sega's unofficial mascot, however Alex the Kid's reign as Sega's mascot would be short-lived. With sales lagging behind Nintendo, Sega had to come up with a plan to close the gap, especially with Nintendo announcing that a new 16-bit console was on the way. Now gamers that don't know their history, there are two choices to be made here. These being either check out my Sonic the Hedgehog video or keep watching this video to find out more. For those of you still here, let me continue. Enter the Sega Mega Drive. This 16-bit console was blast processing and its in-your-face attitude was everywhere in the early 90s. Sales of the Mega Drive were going well but were still nowhere near Nintendo's figures, so Sega had to come up with a plan to entice gamers to buy their new console. And in keeping with the in-your-face attitude, Sega tasked artist Naoto Oshima and game developer Yuji Naka to come up with a mascot as well as a game that could rival Mario. They came up with the blue blur himself, Sonic the Hedgehog. Clearly taking inspiration from Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat, Naoto and Yuji were onto something big. Alex the Kid was booted out and Sonic took on the role as the official mascot of Sega. And with the release of Sonic the Hedgehog, gamers could only play this game if they purchased a Mega Drive, as Sega forbid retailers to sell the game separately. This was a great marketing plan by Tom Kalinske, the CEO of America of Sega at the time, and proved such a success that 15 million units were sold. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog was all about speed and allowed gamers to feel the illusion of speed while playing. Sonic the Hedgehog was regarded as a commercial success, but Sega was still lagging behind Nintendo. Fresh from the success of Sonic the Hedgehog, the original team immediately started on a sequel, but minus Naoto Oshima. Now, Sonic team didn't see this as a major blow to their creativity. They still had Yuji Naka, who some class as the main contributor for the Sonic series and directed most of the Sonic games all the way up to Sonic 06. And another welcome return was Masato Nakamura, the bass player of the J-pop band Dreams Come True. Masato composed the music for Sonic 1 and was given more creative freedom with Sonic 2. Like I was saying, a year after the release of Sonic 1, Sega gave gamers the sequel to the game that helped sell the Mega Drive and started my passion as a lifelong Sonic fan. The year was 1992 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was released in November of that year. Clearly taking advantage of the holiday period, Sega knew that young and old gamers alike would be asking for Sonic 2 as their gift of choice. And like always, let's go back to the past to see how Sega promoted Sonic 2.
Now, when you buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1, you'll get Sonic 2 absolutely free. Sonic 2 handles stubborn stains, embarrassing bald spots, no problem. It even slices and dices, makes thousands of julienne fries. But wait, you can play it too. This free Sonic 2 is a $54.99 value. You get 2 Sonics for the price of 1. Sonic 2 fits easily into any tackle box. Made from a space-age polymer plastic for years of family fun. And pets love it too. Buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1 and get Sonic 2 free. Act now. Wiener Dog sweaters sold separately.
The plot of Sonic 2 sees the return of Doctor Robotnik and his never-ending quest of taking over Mobius. Following the victory of Robotnik, Sonic travels to West Island for a new adventure. While there, he befriends a shy, orange fox called Miles Prowler, or as he's otherwise known as, Tails. And always a bitter loser, Robotnik follows Sonic to West Island. Robotnik learns that the Chaos Emeralds are now on West Island and there's a rumour that a lost 7th Emerald can be found. Now with a mission to collect all the emeralds, Robotnik will use them to power his space station known as the Death Egg. I think Darth Vader and the Empire might want to have a word with Robotnik. And like the events in Sonic 1, Robotnik is capturing the animals of West Island so he can rebuild his Badnik army. The gameplay of Sonic 2 builds upon the basic setup of the original, but with improvements. One of these improvements is the faster gameplay, with Sonic moving faster than his original outing, and an added addition to his moveset. This new move is known as the Super Spin Dash. The Spin Dash allows Sonic to spin in place like revving an engine before taking off at high speeds from a standstill. A small tip for new and old gamers trying this move: just as Sonic is about to shoot off into the distance, gamers should press the jump button. This will send Sonic flying, which does help gamers in reaching extra goodies, as well as moving a lot quicker in the water segments of Sonic 2. It is risky, but it's definitely worth it. Sonic 2 has 11 zones in total, and these zones are significantly larger in size compared to Sonic 1's 6 zones. With each zone being larger, they now consist of 2 acts instead of 3, but there is a greater emphasis on the variety between levels. And like the original, branching paths have returned, and a nice touch here is that all paths ultimately lead to the end of the zone, so exploring is encouraged. Along the way, gamers will run past star posts which act as checkpoints, and if gamers have 50 rings or more, they'll have the chance to enter the special zones. These special zones are a lot different compared to Sonic 1, showing off the 3D capabilities of the Mega Drive. Sonic will run through colourful half-pipes filled with rings and bombs, and after each completion of this bonus stage, the difficulty progressively gets harder. Gamers will have to collect a certain number of rings while dodging the bombs, and once enough rings are collected, they will act as checkpoints until the Chaos Emeralds are obtained. When playing multiplayer, gamers can work together to make the task easier, but more on that later. If gamers are that special breed known as the Elite, they can collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds before the end of Emerald Hill Zone Act 2. And when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, gamers can double tap the jump button. This will make Sonic give out a scream and turn Super Sonic. Sonic will now be invincible and move faster than ever before. The Badniks won't know what hit them until it's too late. Although gamers will need to make sure they have 50 or more rings for this transformation to happen. The added speed boost will certainly make the zones fly by. However, in Mystic Cave Zone there is a well-known spike pit that if Sonic ventures inside of, there is no escape. Gamers will have to wait for rings to drop to 0 before restarting from the last star post checkpoint, providing they activated one. This can still happen even if Sonic isn't in his super form, so be careful. As I mentioned earlier about multiplayer, gamers could plug in a second controller and control the Fox Tails. For the first time, gamers could work together in a single player mode for Sonic 2 to either collect enough rings in the bonus stages or help defeat Robotnik each time he appeared to tackle Sonic and Tails. Now, come to think of it, Tails is essentially the most powerful character in the Sonic series. What I mean by this is that Tails could die but would always come back shortly afterwards. Not quite a god, but close enough. However, when I really think about it, does Tails feel pain every time he dies?
See? You came back to life, just like I knew you would. No harm done, buddy.
Yeah, no harm done. Do you have any idea how much drowning hurts?
Speaking of multiplayer, there is a versus mode where gamers will compete against each other in a race through some of the Sonic 2's many zones. This, however, was the only bad thing about Sonic 2. The multiplayer suffered from slowdown when too many characters were on the screen. The sprites of Sonic and Tails looked plump, and the whole design of the zones looked like it had been squashed by Robotnik's fat bum. Even Tails looks a bit off, probably remembering the suffering he goes through from being player 2. Gamers welcome the variety of different zones, and throughout Sonic 2 there are many to play through. Now, many gamers have their favourites for reasons known to them. For me though, it's got to be Chemical Plant Zone. Its catchy music will have gamers tapping their feet while they guide Sonic through the many speed pipes and loops along the way, even making sure Sonic doesn't drown in the odd coloured water that runs through Chemical Plant Zone. For fans of Sonic the Comic, they know exactly what this is. Although Casino Night Zone is a close second, and maybe this zone was one of the many things that inspired Sonic Team to make Sonic Spinball. Gamers who could make it to the final stage of Sonic 2 will witness Tails in the tornado being shot down, and Sonic would catch a lift on a rocket to the space station Doctor Robotnik. Don't worry too much about Tails though, I'm sure he'll be fine. He always comes back, right? While in the Death Egg, Sonic will meet his doppelganger, known as Mecha Sonic, not to be confused with Metal Sonic, who makes an appearance in Sonic CD. This battle is watched by Robotnik, safely hidden behind a wall. There's just one small thing that gamers would have to take into consideration on this level. There are no rings, no power-ups, no nothing. And that also means no Super Sonic. Once Mecha Sonic is defeated, Sonic will have to fight Robotnik in a giant robot suit. After enough hits, Robotnik will be defeated and Sonic will start to fall towards the ground with Mobius. But being the ultimate sidekick, Tails is there with the tornado to save Sonic. Unless of course gamers have all the Chaos Emeralds, which will allow Sonic to transform into Super Sonic and fly alongside Tails. Now, Tails is regarded as probably one of the best sidekicks in gaming since his debut in Sonic 2. Tails is always seen alongside his best buddy and even has a few games of his own. Overall, Sonic 2 was deemed a huge success and became the second best-selling game on the Mega Drive, the first being the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Praised for its larger levels, colourful graphics and addictive gameplay, it's no wonder that Sonic 2 appears on many top 10 lists as well as game compilations for modern consoles. Now, I can't wait to start Sonic 3 again, as well as Sonic and Knuckles, but then, being a massive Sonic fan, I never get bored of playing these games. Anyway, come back next time where a secret agent with a golden gun and a martini, shaken not stirred, does what he can to save the world from a global threat. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.
Hey!